Okay, on to events. This is something that we started doing about 2 weeks ago, and it's worked better than I anticipated. So if you remember, like, I don't know, a year ago ish, Tracy Nice was on. She does B2B corporate events. That's her wheelhouse. She shared some really great material, and I was thinking about some of the things that she said while she was here, and we've never on our team really started implementing what she said, and now I can see how what she said was so right on. So if you have time to kill, it's probably on our YouTube channel. It's the Tracy Nice. So also, if you're not connected with her, I would. She's just a great person. Okay, so what we started doing is this is a work in progress, so don't be too judgy. But some of our clients, their offer, like our call to action to get them off of LinkedIn, is a micro community so that they can build trust and relationship authority off LinkedIn within that community. So we're not doing the call to action. I mean, for this instance, like the call to action is to go to a recurring event. It's not a sales event. It's not a webinar. Someone's got, I need to mute someone. Okay, sorry. So anyways, the call to action is to join a weekly recurring event, kind of like this, like what we're doing right here. So it's not a sales event. It is a community event, but the host can use the people at the event and the information they get at the event in a sales context, but it's just much more relational. Does that make sense? So what we started doing is creating an event for these, like a LinkedIn event like this, for these weekly meetups. And we just started doing it about 2 weeks ago. And so we're still kind of building out the workflow in, like you can see here, connect, message, like were you inviting them personally? That's kind of like what we have been doing. They say yes, and we manually enroll them. This whole piece over here is what we're kind of still trying to figure out how to time efficiently make the most out of an event like this. Okay. So with that being the destination, where it's a weekly meetup for a micro community, this left path here is what we have been doing. So you connect. When they accept, you tell them about it, do an invite, but it's through the message. It's not like a LinkedIn event invite. It's I'm inviting you. They say yes, confirm their email, and then we opt them in basically. And then from there, so we manually register them. And then from there, you really have to rely on email marketing to make sure people show up. That's super important. So if I did not send out the Wednesday reminders, like what we're talking about, less people would show up. It's just kind of like that. So you've got to have some kind of email go out to remind people that it's happening and what you're talking about for attendance. So that's super critical.
Question, Isaac. So,
Yep.
so you said you're using LinkedIn's registration form because they have that box where they have to check whether or not you can
We're
send.
getting there.
Oh,
That,
okay.
that left path here, this is exclusively through back and forth on messaging. So this is what we have been doing in the past, and we get, depending on, I mean, it depends on the audience and what the meetup is about, but we get between 15 and 30% people say yes. I really like this route because it removes laziness. You know, we're not relying on them to opt in. We're saying, is this your email? They say yes, we do it. They're in the funnel. They're in. So this tends to be the best, but this, I'll show you, it gets some momentum. And so I just don't want to leave it out. So the LinkedIn event like this, right? It's post type. I can go to attend event and boom, I'm in, right? So there are two different types of registration. Like one is what I just did here, where I said I'm in, I click the button, but you can see like here is both the registration link and this is a broadcast link as well, right? But me clicking this was really easy. There's like no commitment from me at all. No email, no first name typing, no nothing. And that is this workflow right here, where it's like an offsite registration, unless it's just a straight up Zoom broadcast link. So there are two paths. This is what Krista was talking about. One is where LinkedIn, actually, let's do this. Let's go to home. Let's do a new event. It's right here. Use a LinkedIn registration form. Right? So if you check, use a LinkedIn registration form, from a user perspective, it's very similar to what you'd see on as like a lead form, where you click it, LinkedIn fills in your info, including your email, and you submit it. And then the recipient, so there's a registration type LinkedIn form sign up, they opt in, and then boom, it's your responsibility as the event coordinator to make sure that the emails sent here get plugged into your event email marketing.
But
right?
If they don't check the opt-in box, do you still get their email address?
If they don't check
There's
the
an opt-in box, because I went through one of those where you check to say, you have to see it from the user end, that when you're filling in the LinkedIn form, it will fill in your name and your email address, but then there's a checkbox to say, accept getting marketing emails from this person, or this company, if it's a company, and they have to actually click that to opt in to be able for you to technically email people, or to have that permission. And I'm wondering, if they don't check it, do you get their email?
That's a good question.
Can I jump in there, Isaac?
Yeah, sure. What do you jump in? Did you want to share your screen, or did you want to comment?
I think Tony's in mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I double clicked on unmute. Sorry. I was just saying, from a legal point of view, if someone's said they want to attend your event and they just haven't completed the Zoom sign up, then you can certainly add them to receive the Zoom details through. What you can't do is then add them to your newsletter or start sending them anything else.
Right. Transactional. You don't need their additional permission for anything related to that transaction.
Exactly. And most people, when they fill in that form, do not tick to allow you to send them anything else. So most people, you're only going to be able to follow up with them about the specific event or series of events that they've said they want to take part in.
So directly related to the event, then, if you go this route, I would like to know if I think this is what Krista was saying, regardless of whether you have permission legally or not, as the event organizer, do you receive the email if they check no?
Yes, you do.
You do? Okay.
You do, because I've been doing these last weeks.
Awesome. Tony, what am I doing talking? You should be running the show today. So, okay, so you get the email, and then that kind of just dictates what happens here by email afterwards. So if your meeting is recurring, you can send them, like I do on Wednesdays. This is what we're talking about today for the event that you signed up for. We're having it again. Do you think you can do that? Or maybe if you make it clear upon first sign up that it's for today and we meet every week.
When you say you get the email, in what form does that come? Is that a CSV you download, or you got to copy and paste it from a screen, or what do you mean when you say you get an email?
You get a CSV file of everyone who said they want to attend the event, and that has their name, job title, company, and email address, plus whether they have opted in to allow you to send them other marketing materials.
So that would come in handy, as you could then use those emails to, assuming you can do the import, to invite all of them to connect and get around your 100 invite, if you wanted to connect with all those people too.
You can only invite someone to an event if you're already connected. So you'd have to rely on like micro influencers.
Other people can invite people to, there are people who sign up for my events that I'm not connected to. So if you get them to share it, but in terms of growing your connections, obviously I would think you'd want more people than just the actual connections to attend the event and register for the event.
Yep.
No?
Yep. Tony, do you know if there is anything you can do on like Zapier where like, can you use that with an event lead form like you would with a paid ad so that you don't have to download the CSV?
So I was just going to say that. No, it doesn't. There is a Zap for LinkedIn lead generation forms, but it's only for the paid variety. It doesn't seem to work with the event type. Having said that, I've been using a Zap that takes content from a Google spreadsheet and automatically registers those people for a GoToWebinar session, which is what we use.
Nice.
So I get, 50 people say yes. I export the attendee spreadsheet, copy the info into that Google sheet, and then those 50 people are all invited and get the GoToWebinar sequence to get them along to the webinar without me having to do anything else. I haven't tried it with a Zoom webinar yet. I can see that Zoom is on Zapier, so you may be able to replicate that exact same workflow for Zoom as well. I haven't had an instance of trying that yet.
That is really interesting. Tony, do you have any data for opt-ins when you require the sign-up form compared to not?
Sorry, can you just clarify what you mean?
Yeah, so there are two types of registration, right? One's using the form, the lead form, and one's using like an offsite registration. Do you see any difference in registration quantities between these two? Because this takes, like in a way, this is a little bit harder. It's not so much harder, but you're seeing that you're submitting your info. And then on this path, you're just pushing one button. It feels more anonymous almost.
Yeah, but it's really hard to get those people to finish through and actually fully register is
right. I mean, that's what all this crap is for. Yeah. So it sounds like it would just be best. Oh man, I don't know, because if you're already connected, does it, I mean, you're already connected, you can message them too. I don't know. I need some numbers. We'll try both. Okay, let's switch paths here. So you can create an event where the lead form is required. The person can click that, their info is auto-filled. They check yes or no, whether you can additionally send them marketing emails not related to the event, right? So that's your responsibility as the organizer. Maybe, Tony, you can do like some cross promotion there where they're in the event communique. You say like, if you're interested in X, Y, or Z, or if you want to do this, then they click at that. And then maybe that's their opt-in to
that's what
receive,
I was thinking.
to receive marketing emails.
Offer like a free ebook or something like that that would put them officially on your email address as part of sharing the event details.
What about if the event is being with a ticket and that ticket registration it's outside? So you can put a ticket link URL for them to register for the event.
Yes. So that is when you aren't using this, you're doing where's the registration link? Oh yeah, registration or broadcast. So you might do Eventbrite, or it might be your website. But like whoever was saying here a minute ago, the follow through sucks. Like people will click the button because they're like, I'm kind of interested. But then that's also really good to know, right? It's good to know that someone's expressing interest. That there's interest. They might not go all the way through. But as far as I'm concerned, that it's kind of like one of those activity scored things. They're expressing interest in what your event is about. So maybe you should especially focus on those people, even if they don't show up to the event.
Yeah. Well, what I just did for my event that I had on Friday is I just shared the link to the replay, but they have to enter their data to actually access the replay. So maybe some of those who did not register, maybe they'll go watch the replay since they don't have to put it on their calendar and maybe
yeah.
register that way. I'm hoping. I don't know. Well, I'm hoping.
Here we're coming up on the hour. I want to make sure my next meeting. Okay, it's not for another hour. Let's do this. Let's jump back over here.
I don't know what the parameters are with that. Has anyone imported something just using like?
Whoops, that's going to get cut out. Who is that? Okay. Okay, so let's go this route here. If you are doing the registration is off of LinkedIn, so you're not using the lead form, you're using Eventbrite, or you're using a form on your website, or you just started putting the broadcast link in there. The opt-in from the user's perspective is really easy because they just click the one button and then it's like, you're saying I'm going to take the initiative to go. Tony, are you still here? Is Tony still here? I'm going to put a couple numbers in here. Okay. So the data that I'm about to throw in here, this I've been trying to work through with our clients on comparing actual signups to the opt-ins that happen on the event. Does that make sense? So what we're typically seeing is when we do an event invite, where we type in someone's name, invite them to the invite. Sorry, invite them to the event. Wow. We get about 15% is about what we're running right here. Say yes. Does that track with lead forms at all, Tony?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay. Oh, really? It's right about 15%.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, I haven't done enough of them to say that's statistically relevant, but I don't think it's massively different.
Wow. Well, that's really, really good to know. That's actually intriguing. So then I think it's almost like if the percentage is going to be the same, it's up to you in your overall funnel. What do you need more? Like, okay, so on here, once someone says yes, what we find then is this is where the drop off is really big. About 3% of people are actually, oh no, sorry. It was, 10%. It was, yeah. So, and then 10% of this 15% complete the registration process. So this, from what Tony's saying, this will get you more emails in your funnel. I think
because you get 100% of them are then signed up for your GoToWebinar or Zoom or whatever.
Tony, with the lead form, in order for you to say that you're going, do you have to push submit on the lead form? Or is it like a second step? Does that make sense?
I think people and then it shows them they're going to submit their details and they accept, I think, from memory.
So if I go, does it make sense what I'm saying?
I was trying to find one because I did one. I landed on one of those last week, Isaac, when I was testing that had that registration. And what I remember is that my name and my email were filled in. Again, underneath there's a box that you can check if you want to allow them to give you marketing. And then there was a button to submit.
So like when I go to look at this event, and then I know Steve. What? I know that guy. That's funny. That's really funny. He's from the UK, actually. Met him out here, and now he's in Atlanta. Funny. So when people's names go here, my question, Tony, with the lead form, because I'm not familiar with that, they push attend. Do they have to submit the lead form before they show in here?
Let me invite you to an event that's taking place in 1 hour.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Disappear in just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, I just invited you.
What's it called so we can find it ourselves and test it? If you don't mind, Tony.
So if
Tony.
you click accept there,
Okay. So I can't see who's attending yet. Accept. What happens if I click
right?
that?
So there you're having
Yes,
to
okay.
accept that you're submitting the details to me. And then it's the
Wow.
box at the bottom tells me whether I'm allowed to use your email for anything else.
Oh. So there's the email. Wow. So it's if we're looking at 15% on this one and this one, I feel like across the board, we're going to require that form to be filled out. It doesn't seem like it's even worth it. If the opt-in rate's the same, it's not worth it to rely on people to finish it on their own.
We were experimenting with your other route earlier, over the last year, and
Tony,
so horrible.
Where have you been all my life?
Well, we recommended the clients not to use event pages until they made these more recent changes.
Wow. Well, golly, because if you go this route, if the opt-in rate is the same, and we're only seeing about 10% of people follow through with the registration, it's the same. You're just getting less registrants, and you have to do all this extra stuff to try and get them there the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really good to know. Do you have to be the event organizer to grab that CSV?
No. Anyone who's an admin of the company page, because it's set up as a company page event, can then get the file. That also means, which is quite exciting, that if you have a business that has several people's contacts that you want to invite, they can all, get involved in inviting, even if they're not attending themselves.
Yeah. So Tracy would call a micro influencer. They
Yeah.
have the rapport, to do the invites. Do you know, Tony, if there is a difference on the lead forms when a company is organizing the event versus a person?
A person can't set up a lead event form. So you have to set
the
event up as a company.
Really?
So if you go and try and set up an event for yourself, at the top it says who's organizing this event, and you have a drop down of you and then all the companies that you manage. So when you've got it as you can't select that you want a lead form.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to set it up.
Did not realize that. I'm so glad you were here today, Tony.
Since they require you to provide a link to your privacy policy. As a regular person, I wouldn't have a link to a privacy policy.
Wow. Well, that is fascinating. Tony, I know you got to bounce. Thank you for sharing. It was very helpful.
My pleasure.
Wow. Okay, so I learned a ton today, and because of what Tony shared, I think we're going to just free up a ton of labor by going, right? Just getting rid of all that stuff. Forget about it. Wow. That's fascinating.
Good stuff. I'm going to have to run because I have to get onto that call with my clients, but
thanks, Tony. I really appreciate you sharing that. See ya. Was someone going to jump in? I heard someone start to talk.
Me. Hey,
Bob.
guys. Quick question. So if you look at Tony's profile, does it show him, or I don't know where to see on his profile, where his event that he's hosting or sponsoring would appear on his profile?
See, so this is a link to his company page. There's see Tony. Tony.
At the top. Yeah.
Unless he shared it as a post or put it in featured, I don't think it would. Do events show? I don't think events show anywhere on a personal profile.
They show on your personal profile in two use cases, to my knowledge. Number one is if you are connected and you're both going to the event, then it'll show on the page. Oh, but that's also, I've only seen that now that I think about it. I'm not sure if that's related to company. So let's do this really quick. Because I'm not sure if there's a difference between if it's organized by a person or a company. So let's just see. Accept, submit. Okay. Now let's go to Tony's profile. Maybe it takes a minute. I have definitely seen it. It shows up right up in here.
Is it like in the highlights section or something that you're both
It
going
might
to
be.
the event?
I think
It
it's when
might
you,
be.
I think it's when you click that you're gonna attend the event. Because if you go to my profile right now, it's gonna show you that I'm going to the event from Hotspot, which is Grow. But it's only when you click that you're gonna attend an event.
So did I not click attend? I'm going to
I
attend.
thought you did.
No, but it will show in your profile for other people.
Oh, but maybe Tony's not going. No, he should be marked as going, right?
Yeah, actually, I do remember on the event, it did say Tony Rusto and X number of people when you were looking at it. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
but
but
it
did-
doesn't say attend event now.
What?
You already signed
Submit.
up and submitted that.
Different event.
Was that a different event?
Yeah. The other one had more people.
Yeah, because
Wait,
I
I
can
saw,
sign
I
up.
saw it. I saw it in the highlights section. Open the highlights.
Click on show
again.
more under highlights.
I saw it pop in. Transform your, there you.
See, but
Yeah, but this was in there. This
I
was in
see
there
that one,
before.
and I'm not a first connection with him, so I can see that. I just didn't see the other one you did.
So our team, I saw this on our Slack channel. We were going to invite someone to an event by messaging, and they saw that they were already opted into the event on the profile. So it does show up here, but I don't think it looked bigger. It was a bigger chunk. And so I'm not sure if there's a delay or what the deal is
Probably
there.
depends on how many highlights that you have, since LinkedIn picks those. So like if they didn't have connections in common, or you couldn't do the message thing, if they didn't have the private messaging set up, then maybe it would show there. But since Tony has the reach out to Tony, the set up because of the providing services, their LinkedIn's going to highlight that. So
Could be.
I think
For
it
example,
depends.
right now, Isaac, in your profile shows that you're gonna be attending the event.
It does.
Yeah, it said that you're gonna be attending how will corporate America approach hiring process post COVID-19.
You want to share your screen real quick?
Yeah. Second.
Okay, one second. No, I got to make you co-host.
I say I see it too, but I have to click on the show more to see it.
Oh, interesting. Here.
I say that. Let me see here.
Let's
The
see.
highlights.
Okay.
I think the highlights are going to be different. So
Okay, got it. Yep. So it's just depends on the
yeah,
highlights.
so for you, I have my top are the reach out, and then that we're in one mutual group. Then I have to click on see more, and then I can see that event. So it probably it depends on the commonalities that LinkedIn picks to highlight for the person, whether or not it's really going to show up.
That's good to know. The other place that I see it is if someone adds it as a featured link on their profile.
Yeah.
You'd have to add that as a featured link. So you'd have to do
Yep.
some manipulation to get it there. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't auto go. You could do that. Yep. The jaw dropper for me was Tony being able to say that 15% opt-in on the lead form and comparing it against no lead form. That's a deal breaker for me. So we're absolutely going to organize the event from the company page and require a lead form, and then probably use some form of automation to grab the CSV output, plug it into a sheet, and then register so that it happens all the way. I just feel like that's the only way that makes sense. Cool.
But when you figure out the automation part in terms of Let us know.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're using for your event, just, I think that's, yeah. 'Cause we have some clients using Zoom webinars, probably the big one.
Right, but
And
getting the
then-
CSV, so if you import, are you going to import it
Mm.
to a Google Sheet and set up the automation from there, which means you have to manually do the Google Sheet or just all the different steps?
Yeah, I suppose maybe we can do that in another meeting, but what we'd probably do is go one of two routes depending on what automation is available. Route number one would be we paste the output into a staging tab on a Google Sheet. And then we can go in and see, who the last person who we added actually to pass to the event, and then delete everything prior, and then just copy paste it over. So like a staging cleanup tab, copy paste it into the live tab, right? And then the other one would be if the automation can do like a lookup by email and skip if it exists, then you could do that, but you're also going to end up having a really long sheet. So
Yeah.
cool. I suppose you could also, depending on what your email looks like before the event, you could just do it once, like a day before the event.